All right, in this video, I'm going to walk through the Autonomous Lead Manager. So there's several areas that the Autonomous Lead Manager gets involved in. So we're going to walk through each of them very carefully. So first, let's talk about setup. So inside of the team settings in AI, you have a tab for the Autonomous Lead Manager. So in here, you can set up as many of these as you want. And the Autonomous Lead Managers really should have a defined, clear purpose that you want to achieve when they are running on an opportunity, and it should really only kind of be one purpose. And I'm going to use my example here to kind of show you that. But you can, we do have some templates, so you can click install new agent from template, and you'll see our available templates, and you can install those and kind of start playing around with them. But let's walk through this, and I'll kind of give you the details. So you give it a name, you give it a description. The next section here is an intervention task. So every time that the Autonomous Lead Manager is about to be run, and to kind of give it in a brief synopsis, the goal of the Autonomous Lead Manager is to communicate on your behalf to an opportunity using texting. And so when a seller responds and it comes into our system, the Autonomous Lead Manager process is triggered. And we do two very important things first. We check for opt-out language. We want to keep you ATP 10 DLC compliant. So if they're asking for opt-out, the Autonomous Lead Manager ends. And then the next one is an intervention task. So that's if like the seller is getting frustrated, maybe they're detecting it's kind of robotic, or they want a phone call. We detect that so we don't just like keep making the seller upset. And so if that's detected, the Autonomous Lead Manager will end, and then this task will be assigned. And then the next are the four most important parts of the Autonomous Lead Manager, and this is how it chooses what to write, how to write it, and how to follow up on that, and how to schedule its next follow-up. So the first part is the intent. And the intent is, what do you want it to do? This should be as concise as possible and very objective oriented. It can handle multiple things, but those multiple things are best kind of listed out in like questions that it would ask. So you'll see here, engage the lead in natural conversational tone via SMS. Your primary objective is to qualify the lead by confirming their timeline to sell, property condition, reason for selling, asking price if known. So when the Autonomous Lead Manager runs on an opportunity, it analyzes what you put in here and it says, okay, what are our goals? And it will say, okay, there's 4 goals. These are the 4 goals. Which of these do we already know? Which of them do we still need to figure out? And then it passes only one of those things onto another AI agent that actually writes the messages. And so you can put a big as list as you want into the intent instructions, and it's going to cycle through that in its conversation with the seller until it gets it accomplished. Once it is accomplished, it will assign a task saying, hey, we achieved our objectives, our intent was complete, and now it's your turn to kind of take over. The writer instructions and the follow-up instructions are very similar. It's how do you want it to write messages? What do you want it to say? How do you want it to be responding to, the previous message that came in? The writer ones are, hey, it's our turn to send a message and we need to say something, we need to ask a question. The follow-up instructions are used if the seller has not responded when the writer sent out, like, hey, what's your timeline to sell? It would obviously word it way better than that. And so the follow-up instructions are used for it to come back and say, hey, just wanted to check in. We're looking to understand what your timeline to sell is. So there can be the exact same instructions, or you can kind of change it up a little bit. And then the scheduler instructions are, how often do you want this Autonomous Lead Manager to interact with this lead? And you can kind of freeform whatever kind of pace of communication you would like inside the scheduler instructions. Make sure you hit save on all of this when you're done with it. And like I said, you can make as many of these as you want inside the settings here. So how do you actually run the Autonomous Lead Manager? So on an opportunity, you can come in here, and inside the AI Management tab, there's select an AI Manager. So inside of here, I can choose the one Autonomous Lead Manager that I have, initial qualification, and then I need to choose a send option. So I want the ALM to send out the first message, or I want it to wait for the first inbound message to respond to. So I'm going to wait for the first inbound message to respond to on this kind of sample that I'm walking you through here. I'm going to hit save. So that's going to say, all right, we're ready. We're just going to wait for an inbound communication. And the reason that I want it to wait is because on this opportunity, I have used the campaign autoresponders to already send out a text message. And so from this, you're probably thinking, oh, well, this is all well and good, but I want an autonomous lead manager to start on an opportunity the minute it's created. So how do I do that? Well, you can. You definitely have the ability to come into AI management and select an AI manager, but you can also come in here to a campaign inside of the campaign section. And inside of settings, you have the ability inside of response template to choose an autonomous lead manager to automatically be started on that opportunity every time it's created. And so I can choose initial qualification, and then the only option here is for the ALM to wait for the first inbound message to respond to. We have sending out the first message coming soon, and that will be very soon after rollout of the AI features. But yeah, so I can choose this, and then I can choose an autoresponder to go out. So I can have the templated message, which is exactly what has happened here, right? A templated message has gone out, and now I'm waiting for an inbound response. So let me go ahead and respond to this inbound message. So an inbound response here, and you'll see it pop on this opportunity here. So there you go. So I said, hi there, I'm at work right now, can't call till 5 p.m., but can text. Okay. So when an inbound message comes through, several things are going to occur. The first thing is we're going to run the AI summaries and the lead score first, because we do use that information inside the autonomous lead manager, and that's a key part actually. The opportunity summaries are required to be on when you're using the autonomous lead manager. It's the easiest way for us to give a concise piece of information to the autonomous lead manager to understand what's happening in this opportunity. And so those are going to run first. And then it's going to go through its checks, make sure they're not opting out, not making sure it's not an intervention, and then it's going to go ahead and run the autonomous lead manager. That can take, anywhere from a minute to 4 minutes, kind of depends upon the opportunity information, how big it is, how much it needs to process, and then it will have a response here. So, okay, so everything's run now, and the autonomous lead manager has written a response. So when you turn on this feature for the first time, the default method is that you have to approve the messages to go out. So if I scroll down here on the activity and communication log, you can see the autonomous lead manager has said, got it, John, just help us move forward. You have a timeline in mind for when you'd like to sell your property. And so I can choose to reject that message, edit it, or apply it. You're probably thinking, how would I know that for all the opportunities the autonomous lead manager are running on? So when you go to your main opportunities tab here, you'll see the AI response message list. So inside of here, it's going to show you all of the opportunities that it is attempting to send messages on. And so you want to come through here and basically click into each one of them and review the message wanting to send out and send it or not, right? And this is just, hey, we know this is new. You might be nervous about turning this on for all your leads and unsure of how it's going to work. So this lets you really kind of control the messages going out and what they sound like. And you can adjust, the settings inside of your autonomous lead manager to kind of get the right messages that you're looking for. Once you've actually said to yourself, hey, I'm ready to just kind of turn this on. So if you go back into your AI settings here on the main tab, you'll see this option here. Choose how to send autonomous lead manager requests. You can flip this. It defaults to this one, which is AI will prepare message drafts, but you must review and send these messages manually. You can flip this and it will go ahead and just start sending the messages out automatically. So that is completely in your control, but it defaults to starting with letting you approve the messages and send them out, and just use that message list, AI response message list in your opportunities tab to review those messages. And you can see here's a bunch of different samples and of messages that it's wanting to send out. And that's it. That's the autonomous lead manager. The most important thing to kind of understand about how the autonomous lead manager interacts with you, the user, is through tasks. So when the intervention task fires out, when it completes its objective, it will assign tasks to the opportunity owner, which you will be able to see inside of your actions list. And that will let you know that, hey, this is, this opportunity no longer has the autonomous lead manager running on it, and I need to go in and interact now with the seller.